My friends, take a moment. You are sitting in a small cafe. A warm cup is on the table. Outside, cars move slowly, and people walk past the window. Someone beside you taps a small glass screen. A soft sound comes from it. Then another sound. Then a bright little message appears. Imagine the smell of coffee in the morning. Imagine rain touching the street. Imagine a mother sending a photo to her child. Imagine a young man finding his way with a map that lives inside his hand. Have you ever stopped to wonder how this small thing became so important? Where did it come from? Why is it everywhere? How did it change from a simple phone into a daily life tool? Can you imagine a world where your phone could only make calls? Have you ever stopped to wonder why people now carry it from breakfast to bedtime? Here is the early twist, my friends. For most of phone history, the phone was not in your pocket. It waited in one place, often inside the home. It was tied to a wall, a desk, or a long wire. Today we will travel across time and across places, from voices on wires to small computers in our hands, in simple, clear English. Our first stop is a quiet room many years ago. There is a heavy phone on a table. It has a round dial, a strong body, and a cord like a little tail. When it rings, the sound fills the room. Everyone can hear it. The problem is simple. The phone cannot travel with you. If you are outside, you miss the call. If your family is not at home, the voice must wait. A phone call is special, but it is also stuck in one place. People wanted to carry voices farther. They wanted a way to speak from the road, from the office, from the street. Say it with me. I need to call. It is a simple sentence, but for a long time it was not always easy to do. Now let us travel to the time of early mobile phones. Imagine a city street with big cars, tall buildings, and busy people in suits. Some people have phones in cars. These phones are large. They need power. They are not friendly little things in a pocket, but there was a problem. Mobile phones were expensive. They were heavy. The sound was not always clear. Only some people could use them. For many families, they felt far away, almost like science fiction still. The idea was strong. A voice should not be tied to one room. A person should be able to call while moving. This was a big change. The phone was beginning to leave the home. In the next chapter, the phone becomes more personal. Imagine a man walking with a huge mobile phone in his hand. It looks almost like a brick. The battery is large. The shape is not beautiful. If you put it in your pocket might cry for help. Yes, my friends, early mobile phones were not exactly gentle fashion, but people loved the new freedom. They could call from outside. They could call from a car park, a street corner, or a train station. The phone was now moving with the person. The problem was still there. These phones cost a lot of money. Calls could be costly. The phone could do only one main thing: call. No photos, no music, no easy messages with pictures, no little map telling you where to turn. Can you imagine carrying a big phone just to say, "I am late"? Can you imagine needing a strong arm for one short call yet? This strange brick opened a door. It told the world, a phone can travel. Repeat after me. The phone can travel. Now let us move to another stop, a time when mobile phones became smaller. Imagine a shop window full of little phones. Some have tiny screens. Some have buttons that click under the thumb. Some open and close with a small snap. People choose colors. They choose shapes. They choose ringtones. The problem now is not only calling. People want fast words. They want short messages. They want to say, "I am here," or "see you soon" without a long call. This is where text messages grow. A text message is a short written note sent by phone. At first, typing is slow. Each number button holds many letters. To write one word, your thumb must work hard. But people learn. Young people become very fast. Thumbs become little dancers. Try this phrase. Send me a message. This is another turning point. The phone is no longer only a voice machine. It becomes a small message tool. It helps people plan, meet, flirt, work, and check on family. It carries small pieces of daily life. My friends, notice the change. The phone is becoming more than a phone. It is becoming a companion. Now let us travel to the early days of small digital tools. Imagine a business person on a train. In one hand, there is a mobile phone. In the other hand, maybe a small calendar or a notebook. In a bag, there may be a music player, a camera, and paper maps. That is a lot to carry. One tool for calls, one tool for music, one tool for photos, one tool for addresses, one tool for plans. Life is moving faster, but pockets are getting crowded. The problem is clear. People want fewer things. They want one tool that can do more. Some phones begin to add simple games. Some add small cameras. Some add email. Email means messages sent through the internet. In simple words, it is like a digital letter. But early phone internet is slow. Screens are small. Pictures look rough. Many buttons make it hard to move around. Still, something important is growing quietly. The phone is beginning to meet the computer. Have you ever stopped to wonder what happens when a phone and a computer become friends? Where does the call end and the new tool begin? Imagine a small screen glowing in a dark bedroom. Imagine a person checking one message before sleep. Imagine another person saving a tiny photo from a special day. Imagine a parent calling a child and then sending words right after. The story is moving toward the smartphone. But first, the world needs better screens, better batteries, faster internet, and easier ways to touch and choose. People are ready. The phone is ready. Daily life is ready. And somewhere ahead, a glass screen is waiting to become the new front door of our digital home. Now let us travel to a bright shop window in the first years of the smartphone age. The phones are changing again. They are not just smaller. They are becoming easier to touch, easier to see, and easier to understand. Imagine a hand sliding across a glass screen. Imagine a finger opening a photo with one soft touch. Imagine a map moving when the person moves. Imagine music, messages, calls, and photos all living in one little box. My friends, this is a great turning point. Before this, many phones had buttons. You pressed, and pressed again. A small screen showed a little menu. But the new smartphones asked a new question. What if the screen became the main door? What if your finger became the key? The problem was simple but big. Phones could do more, but they were not always easy to use. Many people felt lost in menus. Some tools were hidden. Some words were too small. The phone was smart, but it needed to feel simple. Then, touchscreens helped change the story. A touchscreen means a screen you can touch to control. In simple words, your finger tells the phone what to do. You tap, you slide, you open, you close. Say it with me. Tap the screen. This small action changed daily life. A child could open a game. A grandparent could look at a photo. A traveler could zoom into a map. A worker could read an email in a taxi. The phone became friendly to many more hands. But there was another problem. A smartphone without good internet is like a road with no bridge. You can see the other side, but you cannot cross easily. Early mobile internet was slow. Pages took time. Pictures waited. Videos stopped and started, so people built faster networks. A network is a system that connects phones. In simple words, it helps your phone talk to the world. As networks grew faster, the smartphone grew more useful. Messages moved quickly. Photos traveled in seconds. Music played from far away. News arrived while people were walking. Have you ever stopped to wonder why the smartphone feels so alive? It is because it is always reaching out. It talks to towers, satellites, websites, and other phones. It is small, but it is connected to a very large world. Now let us travel to the next chapter, the App Store. Imagine a small market, but not with fruit or bread. This market sells little programs. These programs are called apps. An app is a tool inside the phone. It can help you chat, learn, draw, pay, listen, watch, or find a ride. Before apps became common, a phone had the tools that came with it. You used what was already inside. But apps changed this. They let the phone grow after you bought it. Today it could be a camera. Tomorrow it could be a language teacher. The next day it could be a music room. The problem was that people wanted different things. A student wanted a dictionary. A cook wanted recipes. A driver wanted maps. A small shop owner wanted payments. One phone could not guess every dream. Apps gave people choice. Developers made tools. Developers are people who build software. In simple words, they make the phone do new things. Soon, the smartphone became personal. My phone did not have to look like your phone. Your phone did not have to live like mine. Try this phrase. I use this app. My friends, this is where the smartphone moved deeper into daily life. It was not only for talking. It was for learning, shopping, taking photos, reading, banking, and playing. It could wake you in the morning. It could guide you through a new city. It could help you remember a birthday. Can you imagine carrying a camera, a map, a notebook, a radio, a calendar, and a flashlight in two hands? Now many people carry all of them in one pocket, and sometimes, yes, they still cannot find the flashlight button when the room is dark. Now let us stop in a busy street market. The sun is warm. A seller places fruit on a table. A customer holds up a phone. There is a small sound. The payment is done. No paper money moves. No coins fall. The phone has become a wallet. This is another big change. The smartphone begins to help with money, travel, work, and health. People can buy tickets. They can call a car. They can show a boarding pass. They can count steps. They can send money to a friend. But there was a problem. When one small device holds so much, people begin to worry. Is my information safe? Who can see my photos? What happens if I lose the phone? A tool that carries life must also protect life. So phones began to add stronger locks, a password, a face scan, a fingerprint. A fingerprint means the special lines on your finger. In simple words, your finger becomes your key. The phone learned to keep secrets better. Repeat after me. Keep it safe. Still, my friends, no tool is perfect. A smartphone can help us connect, but it can also take too much attention. It can bring family close, but it can also make the dinner table quiet. Have you ever checked your phone and forgotten why you picked it up? Have you ever opened one message and stayed for 20 minutes? This is part of the story too. Every great tool brings a question. How do we use it well? How do we keep the good parts and control the noisy parts? How do we let it serve our heart, not rule our day? Now let us travel across the world. Imagine a village road. Imagine a student under a small lamp. Imagine a nurse sending a health message. Imagine a farmer checking the weather before going to the field. In many places, the smartphone became the first real computer people owned. Not a big computer on a desk. Not an expensive machine in an office. A phone, small, bright, and carried in the hand. This made education, business, and communication spread in new ways. A person could learn English from a video. A family member could send news from another country. A small seller could show products online. A traveler could translate a sign. Where did the phone go next? Into pockets, schools, buses, kitchens, farms, offices, and bedsides. Why is it everywhere? Because it learned to become many things at once. But the journey is not finished. The smartphone is still changing. Its story now turns from power to balance, from more tools to better habits, from a machine in our hand to a mirror of the life we choose. Now let us move into the present day, my friends. The smartphone is no longer new and strange. It is normal. It waits beside the bed. It sits on the kitchen table. It rides in bags, pockets, buses, trains, and hands. Imagine a quiet morning. The alarm rings softly. A person opens one eye and reaches for the phone. The weather is there. The time is there. A message from a friend is there. The day begins through a small, bright screen. But there was a problem. When one tool does so much, it can become too much. The phone can help us work, learn, and speak. But it can also fill every empty minute. It can make silence feel strange. It can make waiting feel impossible. Have you ever stood in a line and reached for your phone without thinking? Have you ever looked at a screen while walking past a beautiful sky? Have you ever heard a message sound and felt you had to answer at once? This is the new chapter of the smartphone story. It is not only about better cameras or faster internet. It is about balance. Balance means keeping things in a healthy place. In simple words, the phone should help your life, not take your life away. Say it with me, use it wisely. Companies began to add tools for screen time. Screen time means the time you spend looking at the screen. Phones began to show reports. They could tell you how long you used apps. They could help you turn off sounds. They could let you rest from messages. This was another turning point. In the early story, people asked, how can a phone do more? Now many people ask, how can a phone do less at the right time? That is a very modern question, and a very human one. Now let us travel to a family dinner. The table is warm. Bowls and plates move from hand to hand. Someone laughs. Someone tells a small story from the day. A phone lights up on the table. Everyone looks at it for a second. The problem is not the phone itself. The problem is attention. Attention is where your mind goes. If attention always goes to the screen, it cannot fully stay with the people beside you. So many families make small rules. Phones away during dinner. No phone in the bedroom at night. Messages can wait. Photos can be taken, then the phone can rest. These are simple ideas, but simple ideas can be strong. Try this phrase. Put it away, my friends. The smartphone also changed how we remember. In the past, people kept photos in boxes, books, and albums. Now a child's first step, a birthday cake, a sunset, and a funny cat can all live in a phone. Imagine a grandmother opening a photo from far away. Imagine a father watching a short video of his child. Imagine two friends laughing at an old picture from years ago. The phone becomes a small memory box. But again, there is a question. If we take a photo of every moment, do we still feel the moment? If we record every song, do we still listen? If we save everything, what do we truly keep? There is no easy answer. We don't have every detail of the future. But many people are learning to use the smartphone with more care. They take the picture, then look up. They send the message, then listen. They use the map, then enjoy the street. Now let us travel to classrooms and quiet study rooms. A learner sits with earphones. The phone plays a simple English story. The learner listens first, then the learner repeats. Then the learner shadows the voice. Shadowing means speaking along with the sound. In simple words, you follow the speaker like a shadow. Repeat after me. Listen and repeat. This is one of the kind sides of the smartphone. It can bring learning to many places. A bus seat can become a classroom. A kitchen can become a study room. A walk can become listening practice. English can travel with you. Have you ever learned a new word from your phone? Have you ever watched a lesson while eating breakfast? Have you ever practiced a phrase again and again until it felt natural? That is a quiet kind of progress. Now let us look ahead, but gently. Smartphones may become faster. Cameras may become sharper. Screens may fold, bend, or connect to glasses. Voice assistants may answer more naturally. Translation may become easier. Health tools may become stronger, but the old story is still inside the new one. A phone began as a way to carry a voice across distance. Then it became mobile. Then it became a message tool. Then it became a small computer. Then it became a daily life tool. And now, in a full circle moment, it returns to something very simple. It helps one person reach another person. A voice, a message, a photo. A small sign that says, "I am here. I am thinking of you." Can you imagine that? After all the screens, apps, networks, and updates, the deepest magic is still connection. The smartphone is powerful, yes, but its most human job is still to bring people closer when distance stands between them. My friends, the next time you see a smartphone, take a moment. Do not only see glass and metal, see the long road behind it. See the heavy table phone. See the big mobile brick. See the tiny buttons. See the first touchscreens. See the apps opening like little doors. See the people too. Engineers who tried again. Families who waited for calls. Students who learned on small screens. Travelers who found their way. Workers who built new tools. Friends who sent one simple message at the right time. The smartphone is not just a machine. It is a story we carry. It can bring noise, yes. It can bring distraction, yes. But it can also bring help, learning, safety, laughter, and one warm voice when the world feels far away. So use it with care. Let it guide you but not pull you. Let it teach you but not tire you. Let it connect you but not steal the room around you. The next time your phone lights up, smile a little. Behind that small glow is a long human journey, from wires on a wall to a world in your hand. And if your phone asks for another update at the worst time, well, my friends, even modern magic still needs a little patience.